Hello, this is Annika, and you're watching Oathbound Secrets. It's me again. I'm here with another video. Um, I'm really glad that you've been enjoying my recent uploads. It's been really fun just having a little chat. And what are we on to today? Well, International Women's Day is coming up. Pretty important, I would say. Um, I feel like most people just really take it for granted, um, the position that women are in today compared to in the past. So, for International Women's Day, I've been asked to give a little speech, because we're having an event in Dorchester, in Dorset, and it's hosted by the PSC, Palestine Solidarity Campaign. If you're not all that familiar with the whole Palestine situation, I'm not going to spend this whole video explaining what's going on with Palestine, but um, there's a lot of history that goes back way before this October 7th stuff. Um, that yeah, it's been going on for 75, 76, 77. How many years? Something like that. It's been going on for a long time. And I was aware of it since I was kind of like a teenager, I think. Um, and knew about, the occupation and the illegal settlements and um, kicking people out of their homes and forcing people to become refugees and all of this stuff. And the sad thing is that there are people that have lived in Palestine since before it was even called Palestine. I mean, like the families, generations upon generations upon generations, and obviously at some point they would have been religiously Jewish, and then a lot of people converted to Christianity, and then after that, a lot of people converted to Islam. But essentially, they're the same people. They've just changed religion with time. So, but obviously, there's the big old G word has been going on, and there's a lot of stuff all around the world. It's not just Palestine, is it? It's Congo, it's Sudan, it's multiple different places all over the world. Um, and how do you know where to put your energy and what to fight for and where your energy is best placed? I don't know, because there's so much shit going on all around the world. Iran is another thing. Iran has been having a terrible time for a long time. um Balochistan, don't know, I don't think many people know about Balochistan. They've been having a terrible time. um Karakalpakstan. Yes, I know about you guys as well. there's a lot of different places in the world that have been going through really, really horrendous um, occupation and ethnic cleansing and um, environmental disaster and um, just endless kind of misery and struggle, and perseverance. So it's overwhelming, isn't it? All this shit in the world, and all of these things are connected. Though they're not just like isolated incidents of bad luck. They're all connected because we have this global political economic system that I think you could call neo-colonialism. You could also call it imperialism, and it's it's like a subtle thing because people kind of think like the colonial era is over and that's just something that happened in the past, um, and consider like everyone's free now. Everyone got their freedom from empires controlling them, whatever. Like, no, unfortunately, the empire still exists. It's just in a different form, and uh, it's basically how capitalism has evolved. You know, like capitalism has been going through several stages of development or whatever you want to call it, and it's just like adapting to different ways of exploiting people. And I think a lot of people have this little bit misconception about what capitalism is, and think that it just means like trade, and markets, and like people just selling and buying things. No, that's commerce. That's commerce. It's not capitalism. Capitalism is something um, much bigger than just people buying and selling things. Like people have been buying and selling things for thousands of years, but capitalism has only existed since the 18th century. I'm not sure I could pinpoint when exactly capitalism began. Um, when exactly did it begin? I find it really hard to pinpoint, like to say, like this is when capitalism began, because I feel like it was a slow transition out of feudalism. So it's kind of hard to say, but it started here in England. Oh wow, something to be proud of. Huh? If I could describe what capitalism is that it is an economic system based on wage labor. And what that means is that you hire somebody to work for you based on being paid per hour. Okay, that's what capitalism is. It's the whole concept of hiring a person to do the manual work or whatever kind of work, um, in exchange for an hourly wage. So it doesn't really matter what they do exactly in that time. They just get paid like a flat hourly rate. Like I feel like that is this maybe like the simplest way of describing what capitalism is. Oh gosh, yeah, it's more complicated than that, obviously. Okay, wage labor and capital. Capital. What the fuck is capital? What does that mean? You know, like capital is a really interesting word, isn't it? Like when you look at like what like the meaning behind this word capital, it means head. So like capital city is like the head city, you know, like the top, the biggest, the top um of like of the area, of the region, of the country. The capital is the head, and it originates with counting heads. Like if you own a a herd of sheep or whatever, then you count their heads and you say that's capital. Like that's my capital, the heads that I can count. And in capitalism, I would say the heads in the herd are the workers that you have working for you. I'm not going to say like that I am the best person to describe what capitalism is, um, but that was my best shot at giving you a vague idea of what it means. But there's loads of really good videos on YouTube, and I've created a playlist on my channel of political videos. So if you want to delve into that stuff, then you can. Yeah, there's a lot of people, powerful people that want to. Hello, can you not stick your bum right in front of the camera? Um, who want to take rights away from women, because capitalism kind of requires that women um, do unpaid work at home as wives and mothers, and it's really important that we're all subservient to husbands who can control us economically. And yeah, it's fucked. It's fucked, basically. How am I going to give this speech? Um, there's a lot of different far right movements in Britain right now and all over the world. They're all connected by a guy called Steve Bannon. Do you know about him? Do you know about Steve Bannon? Um, he is probably not the only person connecting all of these groups, but there are like there's a network globally of far right movements. They're talking to each other and they're kind of planning things internationally, and there's a lot of going back and forth, especially if you know about the Epstein files. Then you know that you might not know that there was some communication in there about far right influencers in Britain, and Tommy Robinson was mentioned as somebody who was very cheap and easy to hire to do whatever kind of yeah flipping heck. I don't know how to speak about this without just swearing and being angry, because it's just so much absolute bullshit going on that I just don't even know where to begin. But the far right movement in Britain has like recently kind of grown a lot. And it was something that was kind of like in the background for a long time. It's like it never really went away. It's never really gone away. It's always been there in the background. But I feel like recently it's really become very prominent, and it's like such a mainstream thing now that most people, like, when you say far right, they're like, no, no, this isn't far right, this is just a normal amount of being on the right. I'm like, no, this is not normal. This is not normal. Why has this become normalized? Please. That's the scary thing. When the far right becomes normalized, then you're in danger, because it relies on the kind of consent of the public. It relies on most people, or a big enough percentage of people, going along with it for it to work. And obviously over in America we see it with the MAGA movement, isn't it? And all this stuff with Trump. And we know that these are evil fucking people who eat babies and rape children and do fucking horrible stuff. And I don't know if the algorithm is going to fucking suppress the shit out of this video for even mentioning it, but women are a huge part of the fight back against the far right, against neo-fascism. I call it neo-fascism because it's like people think that fascists are a certain kind of caricature of like a Nazi or Mussolini or whatever, they just have this vision, like the specific idea of like what a fascist looks like. But fascism has changed with the times. In Britain, it's very much associated with flag waving and being patriots, ultra nationalistic, and being proud to be English or British or whatever. And they go, well, there's nothing wrong with being proud of who we are. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, you get your sense of pride from your nationality. All right. Um, okay then, great. But there's a little bit more going on there. There's a little bit more to be worried about than just the flag that you're waving. What is the flag kind of? What are the connotations? Remigration. People really, really believe that what we need to do is restrict people's freedom of movement. and they see that as the way to solve all of our problems. Is this a prison? Is this a prison that we have created for ourselves, that we can't travel freely wherever the fuck we want to? Like, what the fuck? Why are people campaigning for less freedom? People want less freedom. They're like, no, I don't want to be able to freely travel wherever I want. I like it when people restrict me and tell me no. I enjoy being held back and being told that you can't pass through these gates. I love that. Really. And they want somebody to fucking boss them around. They want a fucking dictatorship. Because somehow that makes them feel safe and secure. Like I think it's a desire for a sense of order when the world seems chaotic, when the world seems unstable and difficult to predict. People fall into a willingness to accept order and obey the orders, like because it makes them feel safe, I guess. And that's how people become fucking fascists. Fascism is another concept that a lot of people misunderstand because they think that fascism just means when the government tells you what to do, and it's not quite that. Fascism is like a kind of philosophy or belief system about nationhood and the state and ethnicity. Fascism is based on the idea that in order for society to work well, there needs to be conformity, and that we can't have diversity, because diversity is bad, dangerous, scary. It's scary when people are different and do things differently and look different and speak different languages and have different religions. Oh, it's scary. Why the fuck is that scary? Are you pathetic? You're so pathetic. Such a snowflake. We should be like embracing um the creativity of the human race, the fact that there's so many different religions and so many different languages and so many different beautiful styles of clothing and artwork and music in the world. Like, that should be something that we're proud of, actually. I'm not scared of. Why are we scared little babies? Oh my god, that's the thing about fascism. Fascism is full of weak, scared, pathetic little boys who can only feel safe when there's Big Daddy there to boss them around and tell them what to do, because they don't want to think for themselves. It's scary. Making decisions is hard, and I need Daddy to tell me what to do. And that's fucking patriarchal dictatorship, capitalism, and all this fucking disgusting pedophile rings and fucking Epstein files and all this shit. It's all one big fucking mess, isn't it? And I think if you're a magical person, then you know how important your beliefs really are, and how important it is to be able to focus your mind on these intentions and then to follow through that sort of magical activity with real world actions, and get out there, go to your local International Women's Day event and stand up and speak. Say something. Hold up a placard. March on a protest. Do whatever. Do something, and be part of a movement, because there's power in numbers. There's real power in numbers, in collective action. That's how change happens. That is how history is made. And you can't be too picky based on what is available locally. So whatever is going on locally to you, you should get involved. You should get involved with whatever's going on locally. And for me, here in South Dorset, there was Stand Up to Racism local branch, and I thought what they were doing was pretty cool. So I started attending their events and stuff. And then they teamed up with a bunch of other organizations to create a new campaign called Women Against the Far Right. And I want to see loads of women out there on big protests. And on the 28th of March, is it the 28th? Which day is it? There's a date in March when there's going to be a really big protest against the far right. It's called Together Against the Far Right, and that's another like new campaign that was created by several different organizations, kind of teaming up and deciding to like put all of their efforts in to create something big together. That's why it's called Together. Okay, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go up to London for the big Together Against the Far Right protest. And I'm thinking about what I want to do exactly and trying to raise awareness about what the far right is and what they're doing exactly and what their intentions are and why it's important to make a stand against this whole philosophy of belief system that they have. The fact that they have very wealthy, powerful backers, funding that movement. The far right movement globally is funded by very wealthy, obscene people, and that's how they stay in the spotlight, and that's how they get their message into mainstream media, and that's how they manipulate people through social media. They have control of the social media, and they're trying to brainwash people into fucking fascism. That's what it is. I don't know how to prove that to you, but that's what I believe. It's fucking true. Ah! The Epstein files are real. It's fucking fucked up and it's real, and we need to face up to reality and realize what is going on around us is capitalism in crisis. Basically, fascism always rises when capitalism is in crisis, because it's like the security system for capitalism. Like when capitalism is struggling, they go, "Don't worry, guys, let's whip out good old fascism. That'll sort it." And that's just something that we see repeated over and over in history. Unfortunately, you look at different events all around the world and you can see the pattern. You can see the pattern. If you're one of these people with really good pattern recognition, then you will be able to spot it very easily. And if you're one of those people who just can't get enough learning about history and events all around the world, then you will quickly gather that information to be able to connect the dots. And I know that these are the kind of people that will be watching my videos. So I see you. Well done. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment down there, little like one of those, and share and whatever, please, if you don't mind. That would be nice, because I quite like the idea of having more interaction with the few of you who are here now. So that's nice. I like it. It's fun. See you next time. Bye.